Foot in the door, 3 people, 1 job. Press photographer. Lisa Coley, 23, student. Andrew Paradise, 26, paparazzi photographer. Rachel Smith, 23, student. 3 hopefuls are about to compete for a staff position as a press photographer for the independent newspaper. It's a job that you usually have to wait years for.
You're trying to break into one of the most difficult professions in the world. You're also trying to do it in one of the most difficult places in the world. There are just too many good photographers trying to make it in London.
This is probably the luckiest moment in their entire careers. To be given the opportunity that these 3 candidates have got is just incredible. And each and every one of them should take this by the scruff of the neck and run with it.
The foot in the door, step up the ladder, it's being rocket propelled straight to the top. You're being fired out of this sort of like photographic gene pool right in there.
Our candidates will be judged on 3 assignments. Their first shoot will be under the guidance of an independent photographer. Their second task will be a less supervised photo opportunity. Finally, they'll be competing for a front-page picture with the world's press at their heels and no backup at all.
Each candidate will be judged on their merit and their personalities and whether or not they're going to fit in. And that is the important thing. A, they've got to get on with everybody, and B, they've got to have the ability to take the right kind of photographs.
I pretty much got into photography completely by accident. Got a degree, and you go looking for the jobs and there aren't the jobs. You know, I've done 3 years at college, and it's prepared me not 1 ounce for paparazzi.
Met Andrew about three years ago, just over 3 years ago at university.
Love at first sight.
Yes. He doesn't want to be like somebody like David Bailey. What he wants to do is capture specific images that is him.
I mean, I'm 26 now, so I'm not getting any younger. I want something to happen pretty soon. This paparazzi, that's extremely in your face. That's why I have this tension. Because I'm a bit more moralistic, I guess, than the other pap guys. They just think of the money, money, money. Whereas I sort of like respect feelings. It's the one where you have to work for 20 years to get, and this is like the golden opportunity. I really want to get it.
Andrew's first shoot is a miniature book sale at Christie's auction house. The Independent's photographer David Rose is covering the sale for the paper and helps Andrew through the assignment.
What's the brief today?
We're photographing lots of miniature books.
Right.
So they shouldn't be moving too fast. Morning, Gary. How are you? Good.
That's fine, yeah. Once more again.
Oh, well. Watch this man. He's the master.
Can you bring it up? Right, well, we should just shoot film, yeah?
Film now, but probably within a year and a half, it'll all be dished.
Excellent. His work's strong, he seems passionate, he seems intelligent, he seems enthusiastic, keen, all the key ingredients that you're going to need to survive in this industry.
I've always been interested in photography, but I was sort of just plodding along. When my dad passed away, that sort of really affected me a lot. Things like these make you sort of sit back and think you might as well do something with your life. That's when I started working for the student paper. I wrote an article about my dad. And some people never know, you know, what they want to do, really. So I think I'm quite lucky in that respect. And I like talking to people, I like interacting with other people. That's what it's all about, really.
Something like this could be the start of something incredible. I mean, already, just this experience is something that she's going to learn from.
I think the Independent are looking for someone who's a good operator. I do really want to work for the Independent, very badly.
Lisa is meeting photographer Neville Elder at Spitalfields Market to shoot its famous pancake race.
Spitalfields Market, lots of natural light, lovely, and we're going to have a pancake racing competition. Pretty much concentrate on a good, strong, bold image. Something that's going to hold a page.
Right.
All right?
Using 800 here.
Up to you. Shoot it how you want to shoot. All right?
Okay,
good.
Thanks.
I think Lisa, maybe the weakest of the three. And that's not to say her photography. That's more the way that she came across to me. In some ways, being a photographer is a bit like being an actor. In some ways, you have to project your personality and become the person that you think should be photographing that person. So she may surprise me. When she's out on a shoot, she may completely transform herself. But at the moment, she just seems a little bit timid.
I think it's going to be long hours, hard work and stressful. I've never been in that much of a pressurised situation before, apart from trying to get my exam project in for this Friday. I like taking portraits. It's because I'm pretty good at talking to people and getting them to relax. And I really like doing interior shots and stills, long exposures.
She's confident, hard-working, she's dedicated.
Nikki's really close, like a sister.
I hate her. I really do, I hate her.
When I was younger, I had ME for a couple of years. I was in and out of hospital. And one day I just woke up and I said, right, that's it. This isn't going to beat me. I'm not going to be lying in bed for the rest of my life. You know, I'm going to succeed in something, and photography was something which I really loved, and that's why I want to do it.
And Rachel must cover a press call in Covent Garden for the London mayoral elections.
Pretty much it's a straightforward
Okay.
press conference for a Liberal Democrat mayoral candidate.
How close will we be able to get to her?
You get as close as you want to get to her. It's not going to be a bun fight. It's not going to be a lot of pushing and shoving. No, it won't be. This sort of thing doesn't.
And you can have a look around the place before you actually start shooting.
Yeah, well, that's why we're here so early. So.
Right, that's good.
It's so strong, so strong. I think with her work is excellent. Her attitude is very positive. She's very enthusiastic. The only thing I worry about is if it doesn't start working for her when she's on the shoot, that she may panic. So on the day, she may not deliver what she's capable of because she feels that she has to deliver so much that when it doesn't work, it'll completely freak her out.
I notice when there's a flock of photographers are saying, look at me, and you find your head automatically drawn towards the person who's screaming loudest at you.
Yes. I think that's where my height comes in, because I don't get in anybody else's way, because I'm not at their eye level.
Back at the independent offices, the candidates have to select their best photographs and send them down the line to the picture desk.
There's a couple.
They're good.
I mean, any one of these is fine.
It's
Really
just
nice
that I was worried about these ones because, unfortunately, the nails were quite chipped.
See, the idea of this, using a crown coin to actually
For sort of
use
scale
against
and
scale,
monetary
yeah.
value of the actual book.
Yeah, is very much a sort of tabloid mentality. You've only used one shot with the fingers. You could have used a variation of hands and fingers quite easily. My biggest criticism...
It's the nails, isn't it?
That's exactly what lets you down in your picture.
Yes, he's thinking, I just needs to polish it up a little bit. Think about the fingers, look at somebody's fingers and nails. I mean, like, I've got terrible fingernails, I couldn't do it. He just really needs to sort of just hone in, focus and polish up the finer points.
I really do feel quite confident about it now, because I think after today's talk with Andy and Lynn, it's given me the insight to what they want, and it's given me a bit more, let's get on with it and do it.
Can you see why that picture is going to be chosen over yours?
Yes.
Yeah? And you actually understand it. You've gone slightly too wide.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's not enough animation
Within
with the people. But you've done really well. Were you nervous?
Very, yeah, ever so.
And
I made quite a bit of noise as well. You know, I was moving chairs to get in to like do that shot. You know, just as there was filming stuff.
Was it as bad as you thought it was going to be, or was it better?
It was different.
It's quite nice. Very, very independent. Had Neville not been there, that would have been. I would have been quite happy in using that in the paper. I think it's you know, quite a nice image.
When I came out the shoot, I felt really like, oh God, it's really bad. After speaking to Andy, he's really like, you know, told me what I need to do. I need to go in closer. I need to look at facial expressions and, you know, just go around the subject more.
But yeah, it was okay.
Did you feel intimidated by the other photographers?
Slightly.
Right. What I will say, and it's a constructive criticism, this is an independent picture from an event. You're a teacher is more the sort of picture you'd see in a tabloid newspaper rather than a broadsheet.
I wasn't expecting that kind of an image. I would have expected her to have gone down the movement as opposed to the sort of like the flash route. But there were two ways of doing the job, and she decided that was the one for her.
I think it went okay. You know, I did learn a lot, and that's what the way I've got to look at it, basically. You know, so I've only just started out, so I'm not going to be, you know, I've got to learn, and I have to make mistakes in order to learn, so.
For me, somebody who's coming out of this the best at the moment, it's Rachel.
Lisa is a tabloid photographer. She is going to have to change her style.
Whereas, perversely, the person least coming out of it is Andy. He's got the walk and the talk.
He has, which...
You know...
Which is going to get him a long way.
I mean,
But we have got to see some better stuff from him. It's down to them now.
The second assignment is the unveiling of a statue at Trafalgar Square. Our candidates are on the shoot along with an independent photographer, but they're expected to work without help.
I need to get two bodies. I got another camera, but it's crap.
Yeah?
Which is why I bought this. I think the last few days when we were here last week, I think it was very tough for us all. I think it was just a very intense couple of days, I think, you know. So I think that's probably why we were all sort of a bit subdued.
Went out with the shoot Neville. He gave us a brief introduction to the shoot. He didn't really tell me that much about it. He wanted the picture as well as me, so I don't think he wanted to, you know, give that much away, really.
I had a bit of a reality check the other day. I don't know, it's sort of like homed into me, really, you know, talking to my friends and family, what this job could mean. I think, to be quite honest, so far I've been a bit lazy.
It's got the right, you know, swagger and stuff like that, and I don't know, but, you know, it's up to all of us to prove it in our photographs. It isn't up to the individual how you are. You know, if you've got the photographs, that's it. That's the important thing.
Cheers, man.
It doesn't matter whether you're good at your job. If they don't like you, then they won't take you on.
All quietly confident, it's the first opportunity for all three to compare each other's work.
In fact, it's funny, I saw her on the Jubilee line. She was wearing she had a sarong
really
on
straight,
as well,
I spotted her out earlier, because on the first shoot, I took one of her because she's wearing really eccentric clothing.
Yeah. Well, that's nice.
I bought one of these, where it's actually unveiled.
What's it look like?
It's pretty good, actually. It's very Tim Burton-esque, sort of gothic stuff.
Good job there.
Right.
There you go.
Thank you.
How many rolls of film has Lisa shot?
Well, Lisa's done 4 rolls.
I think the pictures were fine, yeah. Better than last week.
I actually like those.
These are nicer. The wider ones, I think, are
Yeah, I
nicer,
know what you mean.
which is that kind of thing.
Because I mean, it's a unique view. It's the first time anybody will have ever seen that.
She's done a much better job today than she did last week.
And let's have a look at...
That's Rachel.
Rachel, you know, a bit of an independent sort of...
She's just been looking at the paper.
Yeah, which is good. It shows that she's been looking at the paper, but, you know, it's a sort of standard old trick, isn't it?
I've got a lot of choice on my contacts. It was a bit hard trying to choose one image from the rest of them, because I thought there was about 4 which I quite liked.
It's a bit of a cliche, though.
A bit of a cliche, and I don't think she's pulled it off.
She actually hasn't, looking at the contact sheets here. On that particular job, I don't think it's worked at all for her.
And, you know, Andy, it's a novel view of the plinth, you know.
It's just nicely framed.
Yeah, it's nicely framed image, you know.
Nicely.
It's good that Andy and Lynn are going to be looking through the contact sheets. So hopefully I've had a higher percentage of better ones than them. But I've seen their contacts and they're pretty good as well, so it's all fair game.
So on that basis, we go Andy, Lisa, Rachel, which is a bit of a surprise, because I thought she was doing so well last week. And then we look at David's from the event, and that's a completely different league, really.
They'll all be in on Monday morning for a briefing, and they will be given a front page to go and get for that afternoon. And the ball is in their hands.
Put yourself in their shoes. What you're actually asking them to do is to go out, win the Grand National, win a motor racing Grand Prix, win the lottery. You want all those things in one. You know, and so obviously it's going to be a lot of pressure on them.
Did you all look at the papers yesterday?
No.
Oh dear, that's the first mistake you've all made. You must read the papers, because one of you have got a picture in the paper yesterday.
Really?
Yes, one of you got a picture in the paper, and I'm going to show it to you. Now, what I don't want you to think is, because this particular picture has made the paper, that the rest of you have got no chance at all. So one of you had a great hit last week, and it's up to the rest of you now to prove that you're going to do it today. I suppose you want to have a look and see who's got the picture. Can any of you guess? No? There it is.
Oh, cool.
Oh, he's being terribly modest over there. That's Andy's picture.
Yeah. Excellent. How come David's wasn't used?
Oh, well, David's would have been used in the daily paper, and this got in the Sunday paper. Now, the next one should be a fab job today, because it's the Alternative Fashion Week, so it's going to be full of colour and lots of glitz. And that's starting at 1:15, and that's over in E1, so it's not very far away. Now, this is more likely to make the front page if we're going for something offbeat as a front page picture today. Okay, unless, of course, there's a huge news story breaking. And I expect some great results, because I'm being terribly brave this morning, because I'm not sending an independent photographer, and I'm relying on you guys now to find me a front page picture down there. So, there are no excuses now. This is your last chance now. And at the end of it, one of you is going to be able to come back and start working for the Independent.
Cartier-Bresson's expression, the decisive moment, when he said that, he encapsulated photography, the decisive moment. And the holy grail would be for one of our candidates to actually capture their own decisive moment. And not only for them to realise it, but for other photographers and their peers to come and go, that's a simply excellent photograph.
I like it, I like it. It's the final day, isn't it? It's the big Lebowski type thing. All the pressure's on today, so I'm personally pretty nervous.
Yeah.
The final shoot, and all three are fighting for a front page photo and the job of a lifetime. They're competing against the world's fashion press, and they're competing against each other.
I wish I'd gone behind the stage all the time, because I realised that the shots of, you know, people coming down on the catwalk is normal shots. It isn't an independent image.
It was a good position where I was, so I thought it was best to stay there. Because as soon as if I moved, I wouldn't be able to get back there, so I stayed there. It's the best place to be.
I think Rachel perhaps noted my absence and sort of followed around. I don't know, but I was gutted when she came round.
Andy got his image in the paper on yesterday, and you know, it was up to, you know, myself to pull it out of the bag, as it were, but I don't think I did.
They were all briefed this morning to go out and find me a front page picture. They've all done remarkably well, but it just wasn't quite there. Not as a front page picture.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact that they didn't get a front page is actually irrelevant. We're asking them to join a very exclusive club, and there are principles that are actually bigger than this programme, in as much that the best photograph wins.
It means a lot. It means a lot to me. You know, it'd be great to work on a broadsheet, you know, so early on in my life, and that. It'd be a really good experience, and if I was to move on, it would be such a great platform to sort of develop my own style, sort of thing.
And I really hope that Lisa was going to sort of not get better, but get different. I mean, she was shooting tableau towards the beginning of the week, and I'd hope that she'd sort of changed around and sort of gradually started to go more of an independent style. I think once she starts getting a bit more confident in herself, her work will be more confident. I think a lot of it stems from the fact that she just is very shy. Do you still think that you're nervous through? As the week, have you unwound, or do you think that you're still perhaps a little bit daunted by the whole, like the camera crews, the office?
I think I was a lot more nervous towards the beginning, but I still think, yeah.
You know, I mean,
sort of,
you know, you produce good work, but I mean, I think you can do better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
When the decision's out, then I'll either be over the moon or completely gutted.
And I think it comes as no surprise, the fact that he is the most confident person and he's producing the most confident images. This is not a game to be shy in.
Yeah, if you're shy, you shouldn't be doing it. That's why I'm not a photographer. If he was the person that we were all relying on getting a front page picture, he's failed. He hasn't got that front page picture.
He hasn't done badly. I mean, none of them have done badly, just not good enough.
Well, it's nice to see an improvement than the last one.
Yeah. Well,
we have to remember that Andy doesn't do fingers.
Oh, the book, the dreaded book thing. Yeah, that was just a nightmare from hell, really.
So, if, as I say, if you haven't done it, we've planted that seed. That means that you're going to.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So, yeah, it's been brilliant. Yeah, thanks for giving us the opportunity.
Thanks for coming in.
The more I've gone on and done it, the more it means, you know. The more jobs I've done, like today, I really enjoyed the fashion shoot. And that's the type of photography I want to do. I want to do quite feature-based work. That's my style. And yeah, seeing that, you know, I really want it. Really, really want it.
Now, Rachel let me down because she's actually got some quite nice stuff here. Again, it's reasonable catwalk stuff, but she's used legs in it and things instead of just a straightforward catwalk. But she scanned in one picture. I think I know what she was trying to do, but it just didn't work.
I quite like that, actually.
No, I just thought it was horrible.
We're a little bit of a difference of opinion on some of these.
We have got a difference of opinion on one of your fashion pieces.
I absolutely love the shadow.
Andy loves it, and I was confused.
Right. So one hated it and one loved it.
Yeah. I keep on.
No, I didn't hate it. I was confused by it.
Right.
So, but you know, a couple that I really like. I mean, have you enjoyed this experience?
I have, yes. It's been a complete eye-opener. Yeah, it really has.
In what way?
In what way, yeah?
Well, how the press thing works and how, like today especially, I've never had so many photographers around me and like having to like, you know...
Being little.
Yeah, being little, get yourself to the front,
each one of those is working to exactly the same kind of deadline pressure they want, so you've got to
It's amazing as well how they talk to you really nicely and then as soon as it starts, they jab you in the back.
If you haven't got this, do you still want to work on a national newspaper?
Oh yes, definitely.
That seed's there.
Yes.
I mean that hopefully has been, you know, the main aim of this time, to make sure that, you know, I think we selected the right 3 people, and at the end of the day, I think you've all done incredibly well.
I think you've done brilliantly.
Thank you. Just hope I get it.
Yeah, I don't think I've got it. The interview with Andy and Lynn, and then I read between the lines a bit, I think, and I don't think I've got it.
Whoever, you know, I'd be happy for whoever it was, and it'd be great if it was me, but no, you know, obviously we're very nervous.
It's sick, like you're just taking a driving test, like every exam you've ever had. Yeah, pretty nervous.
I think I've made a decision, yes.
I think I have, and we'll probably disagree on it.
Yeah. I don't think we will, actually.
No?
But it's bearing in mind that there are a lot more things at issue than just being able to take a picture. You know, the person who gets this is going to come in and have to work with us for a year, work with the other photographers, get out there, produce the goods, be confident, you know. At the end of the day, they've got to come in, you know, and work with us.
Go away.
Andy and Lynn have finally made their minds up. It's been a close-run competition.
How relieved are you that it's all over?
All been in about 10 minutes. Yeah.
Don't worry, it's almost over.
Or you can all relax now, it's over.
So who's got it then?
Let's do it together.
Andy, it's you.
It's you. But nobody's lost here. Nobody's lost. You've all done incredibly well. Yeah. You, Lisa, I think your work's going to come on leaps and bounds. I think you'll do it. Rachel, I'm going to have no hesitation but recommend you to a local agency. And Andy, I think you'll be a very valuable sort of tool.
And Rachel, you have done some brilliant stuff.
Yeah. And we're
you two, it was so close.
Yeah,
it was that much between you.
Brilliant. Well done, Andy.
You've all done very well.
Thanks so much.
Don't cry.
Yeah, strive to get some good shots and hopefully work for the Independent one day.
It's the biggest door that's ever going to open. And it's, you know, it can only lead to bigger and better things, I think.